Hi guys, Luigi here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing something very different from what I normally do on this channel. Lately I've been doing a lot of speedrunning, especially on Luigi's Mansion. As you can see, this is what the game is. And this is just going to be a video of like a post commentary about what the speedrun is, what I'm doing in it and stuff like that. And I decided to pick this one and do this video because I just recorded me getting a PB, a personal best, so the time that it says there, which is 1:04:44, which was my best, was beaten in this video, and I wanted to make sure I got a PB before I made the video, so that's kind of why I'm doing it. Some parts will be quiet, some parts will be vague. It's just going to be like a kind of commentary thing. There's no like, I've not got any like notes or anything right now, so it's just going to be like off the top of my head kind of thing. I'll be watching it kind of back at the same time I'll be recording the voiceover for it, so that's pretty much it. So let's get on with the actual recording, I suppose, and we'll see what actually happens in this speedrun now. Okay, so the timer starts once you press A for your file select screen. I've added in an extra kind of black timer because the Elgato has like a delay when I split and stuff like that, it's going to be a bit off. So I've just added in this timer just to like double check that I've actually got the time that I did get, and I did. So that's going to be about a second like faster, I'm pretty sure, or a second slower. I can't actually tell because I'm stupid. But anyway, first thing that we've done is we headed up the left hand side of the staircase and went through. Every time you come across a double set of doors, you go through the left hand side and it saves about a second. So in this room you just kind of wait and you turn around and instantly catch that ghost. And once you go into your Game Boy Horror, it stops you getting scared. There's an animation that gets played when Luigi gets scared, so that kind of skips it, and it means you can catch the ghost in the first frame that it's available to be caught. And then once you complete a room, you're going to open a chest pretty much, more or less all the time. This one's got a key in it, so you just grab the key. So you kind of set yourself up after you catch the last ghost to be in line with the chest pretty much. So you could just see there's a wee animation there that Luigi just gets scared. So you just walk up there and spin round in circles is kind of a tactic they use to get them to spawn faster. Here we've got an example of a purple puncher. They've got 20 HP compared to the normal golden ghosts that had 10. Now we face our back towards these two and we kind of do like a wee shimmy to catch both of them in the one go. Obviously getting two or more ghosts is faster than getting just one on their own. Again, we kind of do a similar thing here to catch those two, and we head through the door straight away. Now we're going to come over to this left side wardrobe, tap on it, catch the ghost on the right first and then the ghost on the left. And the reason we don't get those two at the same time is because the ghosts are set on a timer. So these two ghosts that I'm catching right now they'll spawn after the ghost on the right has been killed, so you want to get that one first. Kind of just walk over to the right hand wardrobe and then we catch those two. So right now this is a good pace. We have to wait about 4 seconds before that key is actually available to be caught, which is, I don't know, it's kind of weird. And then it's just kind of walking back to like the main area, which is the foyer. So now we're out, we just head left and EGAD will stop us to speak. One thing you'll notice is that it's in Japanese. Obviously I can't speak Japanese, but you don't need to know how to speak it. It's just because the text is smaller characters, it's about 30 seconds faster than English overall. And the way we spam through text is using A and B back and forth on each frame is obviously the best way to do it. Here we have our first example of a portrait ghost. They have 100 HP compared to just kind of 10s, 20s and 30s and 40s kinda. So there you can see a split before I touch the key. When you're meant to like touch the key then split, but it's split slightly before, and that's just because the Elgato has a slight delay on it, but it's fine. We head over to the left hand side and we need to open the curtain here, which will cause a breeze. And that's when Lydia will be able to get caught. That's the name of that ghost. So you just mostly want to get them inside of like a corner and you can whittle down their HP a lot faster. So we open this chest and get our key to Chauncey's room. Here we'll play a small cutscene. Very, very short. Want to head in, instantly turn left and grab the ball and then kind of put it into the corner. And then rock the rocking chair with your vacuum to get Chauncey to come over. After that there'll be like one text box. We just spam through that. Aim down and then that the ball kind of jumped up, but then we want to aim up and hit Chauncey with the ball. After this it'll just be spamming A and B. And after this we will be teleported to our first major boss. There's 4 major bosses. We've got Chauncey, Bogmire, Boolossus, and obviously King Boo at the very end. So this is the first area, which is only about 6 minutes. As you can see from my Chauncey split, it says 6 minutes 8. It's about 5 to 6 minutes long. The other areas are a lot faster, or a lot slower even, like they take a lot more time to beat. This is just area 1 though that we're about to complete. So with the Chauncey fight, we want to head right basically instantly to get this rocking horse to attack. Then we move left to dodge it, and then obviously we just move right to dodge this. Then we come into the middle, we point our vacuum up at an angle, and just like after he's done the second rattle shake, we kind of move over and catch the ball instantly. And then we whittle his HP down to, you want it to be about between 50 and 55 is optimal. If you go any lower than 50, you'll do an extra cycle, which is actually slower because you can only get 2 cycles on this boss. You can only beat him in 2, you can't beat him in 1 cycle, it's impossible. So then we just move away from that rocking horse again, but this time we're going to intentionally get hit so that we have invincibility frames. We go over to the middle, we tap on it to extend them, and then we move back, catch the ball instantly, and we suck up Chauncey. And I actually get a 9 second, or nearly a 10 second better, like on my split there for Chauncey. I got a 5:59, which is pretty good, having it underneath 6 minutes for my level of kind of play, because obviously I'm not that good. A 1 hour 4 is pretty decent, but it's nothing like majorly special. The world record for this game is 1 hour 56, 50 something. It's a 156. Not even a 156, what am I talking about? It's just a 56. 56 minutes, so obviously I've got a lot of work left to do. Probably my main goal for this is to try and get under an hour, but that's going to be a little bit tough right now. Got a lot of time to try and shave off, and I'll do a lot of things that are a bit rusty and like a bit sluggish and just not very good, I would say. So after every area we get this kind of cutscene where he turns all the portrait ghosts back into paintings as they originally were. This is the shortest one because we catch the least amount of portrait ghosts, but we catch more later on, which extends the length of this cutscene. This is a bit of downtime to like kind of chill out before your next area. Just spam through this, make sure to press B, because if you save, it wastes like maybe 1 or 2 seconds, so you don't want to be saving. If it happens, it happens, but you don't really want to. Again, here we just open up the door to the second area, and we want to go through the left door. And I will be pointing my flashlight up at the ceiling. That will it will hopefully stop any ghosts from spawning, because these hallways are like riddled with ghosts. And if you point it up at the ceiling, it stops them spawning. So in this room, when you walk over to the left here, wait, and these are grabber ghosts, and we're going to get caught by them, shake them off in the direction of the other one to catch a double there. That is a pretty nice one actually. That can easily be messed up by me because I'm pretty much consistent at it, but sometimes it just doesn't work. So we just point our vacuum up there after turning around and then suck the key over to the door. Again, pointing our flashlight up at the ceiling to try and not get scared. It does happen in this run a decent amount of times, and it's kind of annoying when it does. So our next room is the ballroom. We want to hold our flashlight off, go down and go back up instantly. And these guys, we want to try and get them into doubles, but their hitboxes is really bad, and sometimes it doesn't work. Like you'll see now, you think I'd get a double, but no, it only catches one. And getting ones on this, like singles, is really quite slow, so... And because that guy spawned, Luigi jumped and I actually missed a double there. So this was a very, very sloppy room. I can definitely do that a lot faster. You obviously optimally want to get 3 sets of doubles in that room for the fastest time. So here we've got our next portrait ghost. These guys will just dance about, and there's 2 chances that you can get them. One chance is 10 seconds slower, or 10 seconds faster, and that's where I got it just there. If you can catch them there, it's 10 seconds faster than getting them a bit later, but it's completely random luck. So if they didn't get it there, it wouldn't have even been my fault. It's just 10 seconds lost to complete RNG. So after that, we grab the key and head through to the next room. I'm going to walk over to the left and just do the Game Boy Horror thing to catch this ghost. Then we're going to put ourselves in the corner, face left, tilt our control stick or analog stick up, and we actually get a poster off the wall, through the wall, which saves a little bit of time. I'll show you what happens here. I also mess up a double there. That double I never really mess up, but I somehow messed that up. So as you can see, being sloppy, that's a lot of time save that I can get a bit later on, obviously. So as you can see here, my boo split's coming up 5 seconds here. So the wall moves back, and normally where this red button is that I'm about to press, there would be a poster on it, but because I sucked it up through the wall, there's nothing there, so we just walk over and press it. And that was 7 seconds slower than my personal best. So now we spawn the boos. There are 50 boos in this mansion, however, because I'm doing a no out of bounds any percent, it's just to beat the game as fast as possible without using a game breaking glitch pretty much, because that's a different category on its own. But this one we need 40 boos to complete, so we do actually need to be catching these, unfortunately, because these are the worst part about the game. They can just fly away from you and kill runs, and yeah, pretty much. So this is just a lot of spamming here, mashing through text, nothing much to deal with here. Okay, so after that we actually want to head back up to the starting area, and back up to the first room that we went into, and catch the boo that should be in this table. If that table has a lump on it, it usually means there's going to be a boo or a decoy. Now the boo, obviously you want to get first. Sometimes it can be a decoy, which is either a boo ball or a boo bomb, and that kind of puts your radar off. Your radar is the thing at the bottom right corner. If it's flashing red, there's something next to you. Yellow is getting closer, etc. So there's nothing in this, I don't think. Yeah, if you hear the boo laugh, it's a decoy. But if you hear it laugh and you don't get a decoy, it means it's moved to another location. So I've just checked that kind of unit, but then it laughed because it changed positions and it went into the unit I just checked. So that it was a bit slow because the boo just decided to be a dick. Nothing I could have done about that. That's completely RNG. Typical. Same with every single boo location is just random. It's not going to be the same in every run, so you've kind of got to adjust to what the boos do pretty much. So we turn round here and mirror warp, and you'll see that a few times. If you inspect a mirror with a Game Boy Horror, it means you warp down to the foyer. It saves a bit of time if you're coming down the way. We actually don't head back into like Nigel and Chauncey's and stuff room, because we're going to be going back up there to catch another ghost later on in the run, and that's when we get them. So here we just want to shake these boxes. Luckily we got the boo first there. Sometimes you get the decoy, it's just luck like I said. And now you'll see a strategy that I'm using, and it's called R pumping. And basically you hold both triggers in, and every 10 HP roughly for the boo, you want to just let go of R and then press it again. I have my controller here actually, and you can kind of hear what I'm doing. So I'm holding both, you let go of R and then you do it again, so it's like, don't know if that was loud, but it probably was. But that's what I mean by that. So we catch this boo back in the ballroom. And now, after 5 boos, we need to catch those 5. Egal will open up a new room. As you can see, I get scared there. You'll open up the washroom, I believe it is. And you're meant to check the toilet here for a key. Sometimes I've spoken to that toad and lost a lot of time, and it's really stupid and dumb because you really shouldn't. Then I'm going to turn around and mirror warp. This saves like 1 or 2 seconds, I think, compared to just walking back down, because the next room's out here and to the right. I don't actually know exactly how much time it saves, but it does save some time, so I do it. I'm going to skip this room. That room's going to be important later. And we're going to get this first room here with, or the first time we're going to see invisible ghosts, so you can only see them in the mirror. But luckily, we already know the locations where they're going to be spawning, so it doesn't really make much difference to us. Now I'm going to be manipulating a double here, just going to come down to the bottom right. Both of them will spawn. Turn around and we'll get the double. This time I'm going to head over to the bottom left side, and again, same thing. Diagonally shake him off, catch the double, head over to the right hand side because that's where the boos are. Luckily that was the first thing that I checked. It's usually in there, but sometimes it isn't. But we're going to open this chest and then catch the boo, and this boo can be so annoying. It can escape, or it can cause you to click the medal when you don't want it. So we're going to touch the medal, we're going to save on this boo intentionally, and then we're going to restart. And that saves like 6 seconds or something. That's the fire element, and it basically gives you fire that you can shoot out of your vacuum. Pretty much that's all it is. You get 3 elements in this game. First one is fire. We'll be going over the next 2 that you can already see on the splits anyway. Then we're going to come back into here, light these candles for a new key. Collect this key, which takes, and again, 4 seconds before you can suck it up normally. And then we're just going to head back through the door. The reason that we reset there is because there's a long text that happens when you pick the medal up, and that basically skips it when you reset, and it's because EGAD's trying to tell you about the new element that you got, so it skips a long set of text, which was actually a 22-second time save over my PB, which is weird that you lose 7 seconds and save 22. The splits in this were a lot they were really weird, but I did get a decent PB I'm really happy with, actually. I'm going to come into here, and we're on a timer here. Because we lit that guy's candles, we're going to open the washing machine, collect this ghost, and there's 3 more left to collect. We're not going to pick up Mario's hat yet. We're going to catch this grabber ghost, and then we're going to wait again, just spin around in circles. And there's going to be 2 more ghosts to collect. Purple puncher. And the grabber that actually catches me. That was quite slow, but we're going to catch that and then touch the hat at the same time. And then we're going to open this chest up. We don't need it, it's just money. Green chests just have money, and we don't need money. But it saves an animation later on. And then I'm going to check this mouse hole and then catch the butler. That's on a timer. He sits down, and if you don't catch him in time, he'll just respawn. You have to go all the way back into the corridor, and obviously that's basically a reset. Then we're going to touch this key. I would kind of done that wrong, but it kind of worked out anyway. And these pearls and more or less everything will lock on to Luigi's vacuum. And when you're trying to catch a boo, you can easily lose them. So that's why I sucked the pearls up, because if you sometimes try and lock onto the boo, but your vacuum just thinks nah, and then it locks onto the pearls, and then the boo escapes. So here we're going to open this chest, burn this guy, open this chest, try and burn the both of them. I missed actually, but it's fine because we open this one, burn 3, open the last one, burn all 4, and then head into the corner, which we turn round and get a 4-piece. Really satisfying, that one. Going to check this, it's not got it in it. It's a boo bomb. It's the one right next to the mouse hole, which is kind of scary because you don't want to get sucked in. And this is a Japanese only text skip. If you catch the boo whilst going into the mouse hole, it skips the text of you catching the boo, which is good. And normally when you'd come in there, if the chest was shut, it would kind of pan over to the chest and like say like, it's as if you forgot about it and it pans over to remind you that it's in there. So if you open it, obviously it's already been opened, so you don't need to get the pan, like the panning over animation. And now when you come out of a light room into a dark room, if you spray some of your element, it stops the animation for Luigi pulling out his flashlight, so it actually saves like a second every time you do it, so it's really helpful to do that. Next we're coming up to Melody's room, which is a music room. When you tap on every one of these instruments, and if you listen closely, it's actually the Mario Brothers theme. Lastly, we want to walk over to the piano where Melody will spawn. I do not know how to speak Japanese, that's pretty obvious. But she can play one of two songs here. She'll either play a song from Mario Brothers 3 or the water theme. And some people might say, how do you know what option to pick? Well, it's either the third option or the first option. So she played the third option there. And then we just want to suck up these music notes or music sheets or just burn them, whatever. And Melody was quite slow, she's a bit of a swirly ghost. Once you catch her, you want to kind of go up to the top right set of drawers and then tap on that. The boo, if it's lucky, it will be in there and that will save a bit of time having to, instead of having to like go around the entire room. Catch that, spam through that, and we accidentally saved there, but that's okay. And then just grab the key as usual. So next we're coming up on the water split, which I lost a lot of time on, but it's okay. Again, spray the element. I didn't really do it that well that time. So this is one of the optional ghosts that we're coming into right now, and I actually get scared a lot there, which is really bad. So yeah, this is an optional ghost room, and we don't need to catch him, so we just walk right through his room. And then we're going to open this fridge. It's kind of scary because you don't want to stay there for too long, otherwise you're going to get whacked in the face with the fridge. And then we catch this ghost, which we need to use fire for, because it has an ice heart. You need to melt it with fire. Get the water, and we saved 8 seconds there. So we lost time on the fire split, but we still managed to save time overall. Here we just spam through the text. Can't do anything to skip this. And we turn around to the tap and collect the water element. We put out the door, and we take the sheet off this to try and get the boo. Here's another time where the boo was being a dick. As you can see, the boo laughed after I got it. Even though I checked that, it's back inside the place that I first checked, so that wasted a bit of time. As you can see, just doing the R pump method, that only works to boos that are about 150 HP. You can only do it about 15 times. So with boos that are more than 150 HP, you kind of have to do them in 2 cycles. Here we have the dog. What's the dog's name? I don't actually remember. Oh, yawning. But we have to just avoid the dog twice, and then on the third time we want to get caught. And then suck up the guy's owner, which is Mr. Bones, which took me a few tries. Because when we get caught there, the dog's kind of round about the area where the bone drops. So the dog will go and lick it up, and then we can catch him. And then we want to inspect the doghouse. And there's a gravestone here that we need to press. And 3 of these guys will spawn. We want to suck this one up and kind of go over to the left side, which can sometimes manipulate a double. Just missed a double, which is okay because we got a decently fast, I think. No, we didn't get a decently fast, like, single. Because that guy was being a dick for the entire time. But we suck him up, head over to the gravestone, and this is when the Bogmire fight starts. So I can't remember if I mentioned it, but every arena, or every major boss ghost that ends off an area has its own arena that they'll like teleport you to. So Bogmire's is just like this big spiked fence kind of area. So we want to suck up this shadow version of Bogmire and head over to the right side. Hit him with it and then we just suck him up. This guy's really tough to get in one cycle, but it can be done, as you can see here. Suck him up, and I was actually like a second slower than my original, so... And my original got Bogmire in 2 cycles. So that was a bit of a waste of time, but that's just because the water split was slow, so it kind of had an overlapping effect. So now we've just got another time to chill out here whilst we put all the ghosts back into paintings. Okay, so with the key that we got from Bogmire's chest, we're going to be starting to head outside now. Using that key. Outside it's kind of important to the story, but if you're doing a speedrun, who really cares? One thing about we're going to be collecting another Mario item, and that will be the third one that we've collected out of 5. There's 5 in the game. We need all 5, and that's what the fortune teller does for us. So we're going to be collecting them obviously along the way. So here is like kinda just we find Mario in a painting, but like who really gives a shit? And then there's a ceiling ghost with no HP that we need to collect. For some reason it can't just spawn the key on its own. As you can see, when I was coming down here, if you spray your element whilst going down like a set of ladders, you don't need to actually sit and climb down them, you can just skip them. I'm actually going to be spraying water at this tree because there's actually a ghost that spawns there that can scare you. So we just spray some water at it and it shouldn't spawn. Here we've got another optional ghost, which is called Biff Atlas. We don't obviously get him, but we need to run on his treadmill to give us a key that's actually optional, but it saves a hell of a lot of time. It basically cuts out having to walk through the garden every time you want to go in between area 2 and area 1, or area 3 and area 2. Here we turn round and shoot one of the element balls that we get at the door. This door is normally on fire, but you can shoot it through the floor, saves some time. Then we collect this ghost on the floor. It's actually faster to go up this upside down panel and get him while you're upside down, but I find it a bit difficult, so I just leave it. And then we catch this ghost. And we have our third and final element within 27 minutes pretty much, which is ice, and we save 0.2 seconds on that. Then of course the guide tells you about it. I actually collect this ice first just because it's kind of preference. It's actually optimal to collect the boo, and as you're sucking up the boo you actually get the ice, so, but obviously mine wasn't so optimal and this took a lot of time to get to find the boo. At this point I was like, I don't know if this is gonna PB or whatever, but also those poison mushrooms will shrink Luigi down in size and you'll waste about 10 seconds. So ripperoni your run then. So next room we're going to come up is Petunia's room. It's in a bathroom actually. Want to suck away the curtain, spray ice in the bath, and then we can collect her. So next we're coming up on Nana's room, and I messed Nana's room up. And this is the point where I was like, I don't know if I can come back from this, but thankfully I did, obviously. So we need to shoot these 3 yarn balls at Nana. And for some reason, I didn't even do anything. Like normally if you miss hitting her, like if you miss a yarn ball, she just laughs and you have to go out and go back in. But that second one just flew and just missed. Even though I didn't even suck it up, so it kind of was really pissed me off a little bit there. I was kind of frustrated, but I just kept going with the run anyway. So then we get Nana. She can be a swirly ghost as well. When I check this little wheel in the corner, that's what I like to do, and it was actually in there, which is lucky. And then it decided to fly away some random direction. Thankfully we did manage to get it though in one cycle. So next we're coming up to a room that I did mess up a decent amount in my PB, so I was hoping to redeem myself a little bit here. We actually need to grab some fire. This torch has one. And then we need to light these candles. I don't actually remember the name of this room, but we just need to light the candles. So normally a golden ghost and a shy guy ghost should spawn, but they always spawn at different times and it really annoys me for this first cycle. Second cycle is the exact same two ghosts but in opposite directions. They do actually spawn at the same time, so you want to shake this mask off and then collect the two of them at the same time. Here we're going to manipulate a double again, but there's going to be three ghosts, so we're going to just capture the single, walk round the candles and then suck up the two masks, and they're right next to each other so we can get them quite easily. We're going to check this thing, which I normally check first, but it wasn't in it, so it's actually in one of these candles. And the boo radar in this room is just horrible, so we actually managed to find it decently fast. Really happy with the way this boo went. If this boo escapes, you've basically killed your run. So thankfully that was a very, very good boo. Next we go into the observatory where we actually look through the telescope. This is a really weird thing, it's kind of out of place, but it happens, so we need to do it. So we're going to have to suck up one of these things, I don't know what they are, and then we need to shoot the moon with it. If you think it's going to hit the moon, it's not going to hit the moon, so you need to point your vacuum at a really strange angle. I actually missed that shot on my PB, I think. So hitting that first time was a little bit of a time save, I believe. And that is Mario's star that we need to collect. Which is the fourth of the items that we need to get. If we suck it up, we can kind of move backwards and it will save a little tiny bit of time. So now we're going to head back down to area 1, or area 2 even. There's actually a room that's now available to us. It actually has an optional ghost in it, but there's a room within that room which has the Mario item that we need, so it does end up having to be a requirement, even though you don't need to catch the guy inside this room here, which is the billiard room. So now we need to come over and hit this projector. I really did actually, was quite happy with the way this room went as well. So these guys are completely invisible, you just need to watch where they spawn, where the dust is. Again, if you know where they are, it doesn't really matter anyway. So now we're going to be doing a double kill and then a triple kill. Want to spin in the middle of this room, get caught by the bottom ghost, walk over to the projector, shake him off and catch the double. Same thing goes for the third, the triple kill. You just need to wait a little bit longer. This can be quite a tricky triple as well, so I was really happy that I got it. And luckily this had the boo in it as well. That's normally where I check first. This one only has 50 HP, so it's pretty much a given. And then we collect Mario's glove, which again is the fourth item. Or maybe wait, did I say the star was the fourth? I might have said the star was the fourth, but I meant the third. Then we're going to mirror warp back to the spawn and head up the stairs to the area that we were in at the very start of the game. This is when I said we'd be coming back. So this is where we're going to collect all the early game boos here. These all have fairly low HP in them, so it's nothing too bad. Again, I checked the chair and stuff, and then the boo laughs and it's in the chair. So that's the third time this run that it's been in somewhere that I checked originally. And I manoeuvre myself back towards the door once I'm catching a boo, which obviously saves time from like walking all the way there. So now we have a room that's actually required, but it's new, which is like the twins' bedroom. So we need to spin this mobile 3 times in a row, which can be kind of weird to do, but it's quite fast if you do it optimally. And then twins spawn. And they want to play a game of hide and seek, so you have to agree to this and then walk outside. Once I tell you to come back in, the way you check to see which box they're in is if you shake it with your vacuum and the box actually shakes, it's got somebody in it. If it doesn't shake, then it's empty, and you don't want to make sure you get them right, because if you get them wrong, yeah, you have to go out and do it again, so that wastes a hell of a lot of time. So the reason that we catch blue guy first is he'll be on the floor. So he can ram into you if you're trying to catch the guy that's flying about, so you want to just get this guy and then catch the red one. He will drop bombs on you as well, so you need to be careful of that. Again, I start to like slick up some of these perils just because they get in the way of your vacuum, like I said, and yeah, the guy escaped on like 3 HP, but that's okay. Because the boo that room there is Chauncey's room, and we need to go in there to collect a boo anyway, so it doesn't waste that much time. So after this boo, we've only got Lydia's room left, and Lydia's room has a fairly easy tech skip for the boo. Also, after you collect 15 boos, eGad can start giving you long text after every boo, so it's completely random, and you really don't want to get long text because it's just a lot of wasted time. But we're going to like pull off these sheets of the bed, but not completely, just so that it's barely hanging off. And then we're going to use the boo, catch the boo, and after that we catch the sheet. And that basically manipulates the game into thinking the last thing that went into your vacuum was a sheet and not a boo, so you don't actually get the text. So now we're going to the fortune teller's room, which is the most boring room of the game. We flash the light on it for like, I don't know how long, and then we need to walk round. And this is just like a minute and a half of straight tech smashing, so there's nothing really much to go on here. So after that, she becomes available to catch, and as you can see my time's in the red by quite a bit. And I accidentally pressed the spacebar, which is my split button, twice. So I've actually just splitted for Bolossus as well, which is not what I was supposed to do. But I do fix that anyway. It just takes a little bit of time because I didn't know the hotkeys to undo splits and stuff. And then again, the boo did the same thing as the previous 3 times. That's the fastest boo in the game as well. It only has 40 HP, but it runs about like crazy. So yeah, I've actually splitted for Bolossus, and it's saying that I saved 3 minutes and 42 seconds, which I didn't actually do, obviously, because I haven't even beat Bolossus yet. So I kinda wait until like a cutscene before I check my like hotkey and stuff. So we want to collect ice on the way back up here, because there's going to be some water element ghosts that we need to freeze. Try and avoid those spiky guys because they'll blow up, and then Luigi will have to go through a whole animation as well. So for this route, we need to shake those antler heads and then spray ice on these guys. You can actually spray ice before they spawn, which gets their heart away early, but I can't do it that well, so I just freeze them once they spawn. And there's 3 of these guys as well as 2 garbage ghosts. I nearly got a double on those guys, but I just didn't. That's what the optimal strat is, but I didn't get it, so... So we finish up this guy. The best thing to do is to open the chest, then try and discover the boot, and then grab the key during that animation type thing. Doesn't always happen, but it's what you're supposed to do. Thankfully I knew it was going to be in the chair if it wasn't in the antlers. This guy actually hits me, so I thought he was going to escape, but I managed to just collect him in time. So now we're actually heading out to the Bolossus fight. And just when we go through this door, I actually switched to sidestep mode, which I'll go over once we need to. You can actually see my mouse on like the splits timer bit because I was trying to figure out hotkeys and stuff. So what we want to do is head off to the right hand side for Bolossus, come round the statue and grab the ice, and then we want to point our vacuum at the floor and just walk all the way to the left. Whilst we're doing this, we want to point it up a bit so that it lines up with Luigi's like yellow button. Shoot an ice ball to get as many of these guys as possible. And I accidentally iced that guy. I completely accidentally iced that guy, which was like really weird. So I actually managed to get a very, very good 1 cycle. I actually 2 cycled Bolossus in the first try, or my PB I should say. So getting the 1 cycle was very nice. So here we've got 2 splits that aren't right. We've got Grimly and Bolossus. So during this cutscene I take the time to fix that. So yeah, I undone the split for old man Grimly, and then I just skipped the Bolossus split because if I'd have just pressed spacebar it would have been an inaccurate split, so there's no point in actually doing that. So that's just been skipped out. So nothing interesting happens here. I grabbed some fire that's useful for later on, so I just do it right now. And I just need to head all the way back up to the balcony, so there's nothing much to speak about now. Okay, so after this is the start of the blackout phase, which basically we need to get the lights back on in the house because all the lights go off and it's a complete blackout, and ghosts will start to spawn absolutely everywhere. So that's why we're in sidestep mode, to try and block all the spawns for the ghosts so they don't spawn, because getting scared over and over is extremely slow. So actually spray some fire over to the right, which stops a ghost from instantly spawning. Let me just head through the door, and I point my flashlight in a particular way here to stop one of them spawning at the door there. And then we just mirror warp from this room. And then we need to head all the way back up to the wardrobe room to find Grimly. This could have been a much better PB, by the way, if it wasn't for Grimly. So we just need to point our flashlight in the middle of the room to stop these guys spawning. Same with this. Just move over to the left. And then we go back into standard mode through this door. And now Grimly can spawn within 30 seconds. It can spawn within 1 second. As soon as you go through the door, it can spawn his heart. Or within 30 seconds. And look, if you just watch, it must spend about 20 seconds here. Still nothing. Still nothing. 18 seconds wasted now. So yeah, if you can look at that time, I've wasted, let's see what it happens to be when I split here. 25 seconds is wasted on Grimly. Now if he would have spawned instantly through that, like as I was walking through the door, I would have saved or come equal to the PB. I would have saved time or come equal to it. So the PB in the end would have been a lot better, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. So now we need to head back down here for the first time into the breaker room. And in the old route we used to actually collect the boo in here, but it's a pain in the ass, so we just skip it in the new route. So we just grab the key and then we get out of here. Next we come down into I think it's like the cellar or something, I don't know the name of it. And then we're going to shake the barrel here to get this guy to spawn. And now we're going to shake the barrel at the same time as collecting this pile of dust off the floor. And then get the chest. Now this boo can be hard to get because the amount of stuff in this room that Luigi's vacuum can lock onto is ridiculous. Thankfully I do collect them though. And next stop is all the way back up onto the 3rd floor, and this kind of area 4 is just like, it's a lot of back and forth between floors, so it's kind of annoying sometimes.
Mario. Mario. Mario.
So now in this new area, we're going to head over to the right here and go through this door. After that, we just head up here because this room's completely optional, and we need to tap on each of these clocks. And now we need to collect these 3 individual clockwork soldiers, which can be quite tough, but I do manage to get every single one of them in one shot at least, which is good. Then we need to head up over here, which is an elevator onto the roof. Now this bit really annoyed me as well. What I want to do is burn all 6 of these guys at spawn, which I managed to do. You're supposed to get hit off this purple guy, but he didn't do it. Even if I did though, I do manage to collect all of them apart from one who actually hits me, and it really puts me off there. So this is a very slow section here, so I just decided to burn them all. Next there's going to be 2 other ghosts, so we need to burn them both and then head over to the left. Now getting these guys over here does save some time because we can actually go up this ladder during the cutscene. And then just grab the chest. I'm going to skip the boo in this room as well, and then we're going to just kind of go over to the other side of the hallway. We're going to tap this and then burn this ghost, and then tap this next one, burn him again to kill him, and then catch this garbage ghost normally. And then collect the purple puncher in here. This bit is very tricky, so I'm not surprised I didn't get it. Check that, scare, skip, burn. You're meant to check this, scare, skip, burn. Didn't really work. Check that, scare, skip, burn. You're meant to burn all 3 of them and then get all 3 of them in the one shot, but as you can tell, that didn't really work out. Now this boo is one of the hardest to get in one cycle, so I didn't actually get it. I actually only got it down to 96 HP, so I was kind of worrying about that. But you can manipulate them into some rooms, so I just decided to get it back into that other room. And hopefully I managed to get it this time, is what I was thinking in my head. He was kind of flying all about the place in random directions, and I didn't understand why. So now we're just going to save and quit on this boo again to take us down to the foyer, which is faster than taking that sheet off and then thingy, like warping down. Because the next rooms that we need to do are in the basement. Okay, so this room, originally you would clear it and then get the boo in here. But we don't do that anymore, so we just collect the ice and then get this room without actually completing it. We just get the key out of it without actually beating the room, so... These guys can just give you a hug for a while. They can be very annoying, but you just kind of have to deal with them. I'm going to head down the way into Weston's room, where we pick up some fire here. And then we need to burn each of these logs. Now we need to melt his ice cube. And this guy is very, very hard to get in one shot, so I'm surprised that I managed to get him actually. And these perils are very, very annoying in this room because of the ice physics, so it's really handy to get them. So we get the boo here. This guy's got 150, so I was very, very shocked how I managed to get him in one go. First time I think I've ever one-cycled this boo, so I was very pleased. And after this guy we save and quit to get back up to the main area again, which is obviously faster than just walking through the other rooms. I accidentally pressed the wrong button there. So I actually think it was me one-cycling that boo that really did save a lot of time, because now we just need to head up to the 3rd floor and beat my favourite room in the game. So we collect some fire on the way up, and it's just more or less the same walk up as normal.
Mario. Mario.
So Van Gogh's room is just on the right hand side. This is the guy who's been spawning all the ghosts. So now he's going to spawn 3 of every single type of ghost that there is on his paintings here. So obviously the best thing you want to do is get triples, which is why it's one of my favourite rooms, because it's very satisfying to get triples. These grabber ghosts can be tricky because of their hitboxes, so I actually do fail to get these. Next up, the garbage can ghosts. These guys are very hard because they've got really small hitboxes, but you can do a certain thing to get them all, which I have done just there. It's really good to get all 3 of them. It's really, really fun as well. And these guys is what you need the fire for. You just burn them all in the ceiling. Actually slipped in a banana there, but it's okay. Next, you just need to catch Van Gogh. So once I seen that I'd saved 5 seconds, I was like, okay, I can actually do this, but it'll be very tight. So we actually get the Boo in Van Gogh's room, which you're meant to do in 2 cycles, but it took me about 4 because, yeah, I'm just bad. So the first cycle went really well. Obviously got him down to below 150, is what kind of what you want to get. And then after this, it just didn't really work. So Van Gogh's Boo can only go in and out of this room and outside. They can't go anywhere else, so that's why he's one of the easiest. Then he hits into me, so I need to go all the way back out. So at this point again, I was thinking, well, I wasted a lot of time here getting this Boo, so I don't know if I can PB. So I finally managed to get him, and then you just save warp back down to the start again, and next is the final boss. So now it's about this point in the run where you're like, it's either now or never. I'm going to either PB or I'm not going to PB. Now you can beat this boss in 2 cycles. However, I decided to go for like the safe option and go for 3 cycles. So we blow his head off here and we just need to whittle his HP down. So after a certain amount I do the Boo pump, the R pump thing. And we want to get his HP down after that, it doesn't really matter. The second cycle we want to get his HP just above 200. Like Chauncey, if you get it above under 200 he'll do like a different cycle thing, you don't want that. So I get it down to about 202 or something. And then just let him go and he'll go back. So now on your third cycle is when you want to beat him. In my PB it took me 4 cycles, which isn't very good, so I really wanted to get this 3 cycle, and I knew I was going to get a decent PB from that. So after like 130 I decide to do the Boo pump. Sometimes they can escape, but thankfully, bang, got him sucked up, and that's it. Once he sucks up is when you end your timer. And I beat my personal best by 35 seconds, which I was very happy about. Now it's just more or less ending stuff. nothing really much else to say here. I hope you kind of like this different type of video. If I end up getting like more PBs and stuff, I'll upload them as separate videos, not with commentary obviously, just as the video if you would like to see them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm really happy with how that turned out. I could have got a 103, which is definitely going to have to be my next goal, is to get a 103, and just kind of keep going down from there. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. It was certainly good for me to get a personal best eventually. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and a comment. If you really enjoyed, subscribe for more in the future. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
뭔가 루이기 뻗어. 마리오? Mamma mia. Oh, 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 oh.